United States. United States, officially United States of America, abbreviated US or USA, by name America, country in North America, a federal republic of 50 states. Besides the 48 conterminous states that occupy the middle latitudes of the continent, the United States includes the state of Alaska, at the northwestern extreme of North America, and the island state of Hawaii, in the mid-Pacific Ocean. The conterminous states are bounded on the north by Canada, on the east by the Atlantic Ocean, on the south by the Gulf of Mexico and Mexico, and on the west by the Pacific Ocean. The United States is the fourth largest country in the world in area, after Russia, Canada, and China. The national capital is Washington, which is coextensive with the District of Columbia, the federal capital region created in 1790. Demography of the United States. There were about 125.9 million adult women in the United States in 2014. The number of men was 119.4 million. At age 85 and older, there were almost twice as many women as men, 4 million versus 2.1 million. People under 21 years of age made up over a quarter of the U.S. population, 27.1%, and people age 65 and over made up 1/7, 14.5%. 13. The national median age was 37.8 years in 2015. 14. The United States Census Bureau defines white people as those having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. It includes people who reported white or wrote in entries such as Irish, German, Italian, Lebanese, Near Easterner, Arab, or Polish. 15. Whites constitute the majority of the U.S. population, with a total of about 245,532,000 or 77.7% of the population as of 2013. Non-Hispanic whites make up 62.6% of the country's population. Despite major changes due to immigration since the 1960s, and the higher birth rates of non-whites, the overall current majority of American citizens are still white, and English-speaking, though regional differences exist. American culture encompasses the customs and traditions of the United States. Culture encompasses religion, food, what we wear, how we wear it, our language, marriage, music, what we believe is right or wrong, how we sit at the table, how we greet visitors, how we behave with loved ones, and a million other things. American style. Clothing styles vary by social status, region, occupation and climate. Jeans, sneakers, baseball caps, cowboy hats and boots are some items of clothing that are closely associated with Americans. Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, Michael Kors and Victoria's Secret are some well-known American brands. American fashion is widely influenced by celebrities and the media, and fashion sales equal around $200 billion per year, according to a paper published by Harvard University. American cuisine has been influenced by Europeans and Native Americans in its early history. Today, there are a number of foods that are commonly identified as American, such as hamburgers, hot dogs, potato chips, macaroni and cheese, and meatloaf. As American as apple pie has come to mean something that is authentically American. There are also styles of cooking and types of foods that are specific to a region. Southern-style cooking is often called American comfort food and includes dishes such as fried chicken, collard greens, black-eyed peas and cornbread. Tex-Mex, popular in Texas and the Southwest, is a blend of Spanish and Mexican cooking styles and includes items such as chili and burritos and relies heavily on shredded cheese and beans. Jerky, dried meats that are served as snacks, is also a food that was created in the United States, according to NPR. The arts. The United States is widely known around the world as a leader in mass media production, including television and movies. According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, the United States comprises 1/3 of the worldwide media and entertainment industry. The television broadcasting industry took hold in the United States in the early 1950s, and American television programs are now shown around the world. The United States also has a vibrant movie industry, centered in Hollywood, California, and American movies are popular worldwide. The U.S. film industry earned $31 billion in revenues in 2013, according to the U.S. Department of Commerce. The United States arts culture extends beyond movies and television shows, though. New York is home to Broadway, and Americans have a rich theatrical history. American folk art is an artistic style and is identified with quilts and other handcrafted items. American music is very diverse with many styles, including rhythm and blues, jazz, gospel, country and western, bluegrass, rock and roll and hip-hop. The United States is a sports-minded country, with millions of fans who follow football, baseball, basketball and hockey, among other sports. Baseball, which was developed in colonial America and became an organized sport in the mid-1800s, is known as America's favorite pastime, although its popularity has been eclipsed by football for the past 3 decades, according to the Harris Poll. American holidays. Many holidays are celebrated only in the United States. Americans celebrate their independence from Britain on July 4th. Memorial Day, celebrated on the last Monday in May, honors those who have died in military service. Labor Day, observed on the first Monday in September, celebrates country's workforce. Thanksgiving, another distinctive American holiday, falls on the fourth Thursday in November and dates back to colonial times to celebrate the harvest. President's Day, marking the birthdays of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, is a federal holiday that occurs on the third Monday in February. The contributions of veterans are honored on Veterans Day, observed on November 11. The contributions of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. are remembered on the third Monday in January. New York City English. One of the more famous American accents, the classic New Yorkese has been immortalized by films, Goodfellas, Marty, and Manhattan, among countless others. Mid-Atlantic English. Not to be confused with another meaning of Mid-Atlantic English that describes the old-fashioned British-sounding accents you hear in movies from the 1930s. This Mid-Atlantic refers to the American accents spoken along the urban corridor from the Philadelphia area to Baltimore. It sounds slightly similar to New York City, but with a few major differences. Coastal, Lowland Southern English. This is the classic Southern accent that you typically see in films about Civil War or plantation life. In contemporary times, the accent is arguably dying out. Great Lakes English. This is the accent usually associated with a phenomenon known as the Northern Cities vowel shift. You can hear this accent in Chicago, Detroit, Buffalo, Rochester, and Cleveland. Upper Midwestern English. This is the dialect that was made famous by the film Fargo. It is mostly heard in Minnesota, North Dakota and a few areas in Iowa. It is related to the Great Lakes dialect, although with some substantial differences. Western American accents. This category covers the largest amount of territory, including most of the mountain and western states. Accents here can vary from sounding slightly southern, as in parts of Colorado, to having a bit of a Canadian flavor, the Pacific Northwest. Western American accents. This category covers the largest amount of territory, including most of the mountain and western states. Accents here can vary from sounding slightly southern, as in parts of Colorado, to having a bit of a Canadian flavor, the Pacific Northwest. This is a vague term that applies to the American accents that lie between North and South, in states like Missouri, Southern Indiana, Southern Illinois, Southern Pennsylvania, Kansas, Oklahoma, and pockets of a few other states. Accents here vary a good deal, but can best be described as being a combination of northern and southern features. There are many more American accents than this. These are just the largest groupings of accents. There are any number of subdialects that are quite unique: New Orleans, African American Vernacular English, Chicago, etc.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve Ford and welcome to Peppy Pronunciation. I've had many requests by students over the years to do a video about American regional accents. While some types of pronunciation are the same from New York to LA, some are not. So let's take a look at some similarities. So it really doesn't matter if you're from New York, LA, or Toronto. Did you hear the way I just said my hometown? Toronto. We don't say Toronto. We omit all the T's after the consonant N. And two prime examples are want and can't. Hey John, are you coming to the game tonight? I can't. Did that guy just say can or can't? He said can't. And the T is not pronounced. How will you know it's negative? Intonation. It goes down. Can't. Another good example is internet or internet. So let's take a look at some people saying this word from different parts of North America. First, in its full form, the way a TV news anchor might speak if you're lucky.
Internet.
And the way it's usually pronounced.
Internet.
Now, you have to understand that native speakers are not English teachers and are mostly unaware of the fact that when they say, I'm surfing the internet, that all of the T's in the word are not pronounced. Why do we leave out the T's? Simple. It's faster to say. Internet. Not all Americans talk like a Texan boy or a New York rapper. Accents can vary even in a city like New York, Boston, or Austin. Let's take the example of the word coffee. Now, standard American and Canadian English would be coffee. The O has an aw sound. You go to the doctor and he says, stick out your tongue and say, aw, coffee. So let's take a look at different ways to say coffee across the USA.
Coffee.
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 The O sound is really an O or an or an or, coffee or coffee or coffee. I want a cup of coffee. Southern US, the ah sound has a little different that's what we call a southern drawl. Coffee. Another big O difference is in the word sorry. Some parts of the states and a lot of Canada say sorry, while the rest of the states say sorry. Listen to some examples.
Sorry.
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 Now, quite recently I was driving down to the USA and I had to go shopping. The border guard had one of those rural accents, and it doesn't matter what part of North America someone is from. When it's rural, they simply leave out the consonants. Where are you going? I'm going to buy a cat tree for my cats. I got a Canadian tour here, want to buy a cat tree? Okie dokie. Why are you going to bother coming all the way down here? Because the same product is 50% more expensive in Canada. Okay, have a nice day. So there I was, an English teacher, the Sherlock Holmes of impossible accents in English, thinking if I could barely understand what this guy was saying, imagine non-native speakers of English trying to understand what this guy was saying. This kind of speaking is a relaxed, rural way of speaking, and basically it's a way that requires no effort whatsoever for the speaker to move his or her mouth. Ah. I have to say that I like the way that English sounds in New York street talk because it's very musical. It's got a beat. It's full of intonation. Often they will use swear words to spice things up a bit. So what are you talking about becomes, what you talking about? Or what the fuck you talking about? Well, everybody, I really enjoyed making this lesson, especially since so many of my fans and subscribers have requested a lesson for this for ages. Try to keep in mind that accents can change even in one city, state, or province. Have a great day and see you in our next lesson. Bye for now.
Laugh where you can, Pinky. It's not over yet.
That's what you think, but it's not over yet!